Ben, thanks for joining us. A 1-0 defeat at home to Farnham Town today. What's your immediate thoughts and feelings of how that game went?
It's a difficult one, mate, because I think you're at the back end of the game, especially second half. I think it's one where you can go home and be a bit proud of it. But then you've still lost the game, so emotions are a little bit mixed, if I'm honest with you. But essentially, what everyone reads is that you haven't picked up any points, and that's the killer blow, mate.
Obviously, the winning goal came, I think it was about 5 minutes or so before half time. Would you say would it be fair to say we kind of struggled to get going in the first half, but then in terms of letting in the goal how we did just before half time, that was a bit of a downer, a bad way to go in, bad way to concede the first goal?
Yeah, I mean, the first half we were nowhere near it. We kind of knew that, and it was one of those where I thought, we might just have to get in at half time, tweak a few things, and liven ourselves up, and come out the second half. So I think 5 minutes before the end is always a horrible time to concede. I spent a bit of time in the office before we went and did the half-time team talk, just because I wanted to watch the goal back. Luckily, we had footage of it straight away, and it was looking back on it, it's a poor setup in terms of shape from us off the throw. We don't get our defensive shape quick enough when we win the ball back. We win the ball back, we give it away. I think on that moment, if you freeze the screen, you've got your back four all kind of outside the near post, and then we end up with just Diego in the middle of the goal.
And I think he might have got it. I think he looked like, I said, I've only seen it once, so he might have got his feet in a bit of a muddle, and obviously that's how the ball got through to Owen Dean.
Couldn't quite work out whether it's gone under him or past him, but yeah, he's got his feet in a bit of a mix up there, and then they've got a kind of a tap in at the back post, but that was again fault of our own, I would say. But second half we started bright.
I was just about to say, considering the goal just before half time, what was the message at half time? Let's give this a real go second half.
Yeah, listen, that was the message at the start of the day. I think you obviously stand on the terraces, and some of the fans will go and look at games, and I don't think we were happy with our kind of the show that we put on at Kingstonian. Yes, we wanted to be organised, but we need to be doing it in the right way, and we tried to tweak a few things and start to be organised a little bit higher up the pitch. And it's a case of, we're now at home. I think we gave them a little bit too much respect when we went away from home, which they rightly earned. Let's not kind of kid ourselves. They weren't a team that we were just going to play. They were a team that was on the back of over 50 league wins. Over 50 league games without losing. So that's something that they should be very proud of. And I think everyone got kind of caught up in a hype of yes, give them respect for where they are, but also play your own game. And that was our message today. Go and get in and amongst it, get them in a fight, and put a bit of pressure on them. Something that we did very well in the second half, but not for 90 minutes.
The key, obviously, the biggest moment for us was the penalty. I think it was with about 15 minutes to go. I think Jethro was the one that got brought down. On one hand, you must always praise a player, or especially for taking responsibility. I want to take it. This is mine. But just But on the other hand, was Carl the designated penalty taker today, considering we've had 3 successful penalty shootouts recently?
Yeah, I think, listen, Carl's been with me for a long time, and for that period, he has been, for a long period, he has been my penalty taker. However, when we've come into the club here, he kind of gave the reins over to Leo at the start, and he went on and scored his penalties on a little run. Obviously, within the penalty shootouts, everyone gets a bit of an opportunity. When Leo's been not on the pitch, it's fallen to Darnell. I thought in the right moment, with Jethro coming on and spinning the game on its head, that he might have fancied it, but Carl's kind of, he's got the armband and he's taken responsibility, and unfortunately, it's not paid off. Those things happen. It could have, Leo's missed one already this year. So, those things happen. We have to kind of, put that to bed. I think if we had scored it, it would have been a very interesting last 10-15 minutes, and there was a good atmosphere, especially for the last 20 minutes of the game in the ground, which we could really feel, and I think that definitely helped.
Yeah, as you said, you score that with 15 minutes to go and it's really game on, and I think even the last 5 or 10 minutes, it was, for them, I think they backs to the wall and let's just clear our lines. And I think they had one chance on the break, but they were, clinging on to the 1-0 the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'd like to think that they'll be going home, knowing that they were in a game. I'm sure they did. They gave us plenty of praise after. The manager said that was a good old game. That I think their chairman's come over and kind of given us a lot of praise as well. So that's something that we've got to be proud of, because I felt when we went their place and we've gone to Kingstonian, I don't think they, especially Farnham away, I don't think they had to get out of second gear. And we kind of used that today. We didn't want them come into our kind of place of having to go home without breaking a sweat. And that was one of my messages today. I said, if they're going to take any point, whether it be 1 or 3 today, they must be going home, either knowing that they've had to earn that massively, or, I said some of their players should be crawling home, because when they come here, they should be in for a fight. And I think we did that in the second half, but unfortunately, football's 90, 95, 96, whatever she played today. That's how long it is. It's not 45.
You mentioned there, lady referee today, so I don't have her name to hand, so my apologies, but without wanting to sound patronising in any way, I thought, and as did many that I was sitting with, she had a really good game. I think it was about, on paper it wasn't a dirty game. I think there was about 5 cards to them and 4 to us, something like that in the end. But the general feeling, I think, that the referee today handled the game really well, considering I don't think she was down to do it. I think she was a last minute replacement, and I may be corrected on that, but just the way she handled the game as a whole, considering how 4 feet first.
Yeah, well, listen, for any ref, that's going to be a big old game. Especially where 2 teams are fighting at the top ends of the table. It's always going to be a difficult game to ref. There's a lot on the line. I think as the game went on, we were pushing for things, and it got even harder to ref. So credit to the referee. I've seen her before. We have had her before, and she's always had very, very good game. So, we sometimes you have to pay a little bit of, have to give the refs credit where it's due, because, I'm the first to give them a little bit of stick. So fair play to her. She handled that well. It's not an easy game.
A quick word on new player we've signed in the last week or so, Tyrese, who obviously played on Tuesday and played today. I thought we had a really good game in centre midfield, and kind of adds a bit of physicality in centre midfield that we need. Yeah,
he was obviously a player that for us stood out when we played Sutton Common Rovers away. I thought he was one of the better players on the pitch when we played down there on that Friday night. And he's someone that parted ways with Sutton Common, and we kind of jumped at the chance to get him in. We kind of introduced him on Tuesday to the group and to what we were trying to do. He's had the last 2 training sessions with us, so he's someone that we're keen to embed into the squad a little bit more. And I think he's been thrown in 2 games, and I think even today he was outstanding, especially second half. He was in total control of the ball. He kept it well for us, and like you say, he is a natural kind of higher end of the pitch player. And I'll be honest, I didn't think he had the physicality in him. I didn't think he had the picking up seconds and getting his body in. And that's been something that's been really refreshing, because I was looking at, where are we going to see him in the kind of way we play in the shape. But I think he's shown across the last 2 games that he can kind of do any role that we ask him in that middle area of the pitch. So, it's a credit to him, and he's definitely one that we're proud to get on board.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing more of him, obviously, as the season goes on. Finally, the games are coming thick and fast. Next one is on Tuesday, away to another big game against Hanworth Villa away. Your thoughts on that one?
Listen, good side, good group of management people. Always have a good laugh with them. In the dugout, they've been a side that's been successful in this league already in terms of reaching playoffs. Some very good players, and it's not an easy place to go. So that'll be a big test for us, and it's a test that we haven't really had to face on the back of 2 losses. So it's something that we'll be looking to put right in regards to getting some points on the board. It's a new challenge for us since we've been at the club, but with the schedule that we have, as much as we can moan about it, there's no better chance than in 2 days' time giving you that chance to go and put it right. So we're looking forward to that one for sure.
Ben, thank you for your time. Good luck on Tuesday.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.